Clement IV was elected Pope in 1264. He entered Italy in disguise and did not dare enter Rome due to Ghibelline hostility. He resumed negotiations with Charles I of Anjou to continue hostility against the Hohenstaufen dynasty. Crucially, Charles was prepared to swear allegiance to the Pope, something the Hohenstaufens refused to do. Together, Clement IV and Charles I planned the campaign against the Hohenstaufens. Charles I marched to Naples, and shortly after, the Battle of Benevento ensued. The Battle of Benevento was fought in 1266. Near Benevento in southern Italy were the armies of Charles I of Anjou and King Manfred of Sicily. This was part of a wider tension between Guelphs and Ghibellines. These were the political groups who supported respectively the Pope or the Emperor. Manfred had a slight numerical advantage and a strong defensive position. His army comprised of Saracen mercenaries and German knights. Charles's army consisted of mainly French troops and a small number of Italians. Manfred sent his Saracens forward and initially drove back Charles's infantry and crossbowmen. Later on, the Saracens were charged down by the German knights and defeated. The Germans had a stronger armour but moved slowly on the battlefield. The French and Italians charged the German line but were beaten back, the German armour seeming too strong. Eventually, the French knights realised the German armour did not protect the soldiers at their armpits. At this point, the French knights engaged the German knights at close quarters and almost wiped them out. Manfred was now losing this battle, and his forces had been split. He threw in his reserves, but his losses only increased. Manfred's forces were rattled, and those who attempted to flee were cut down. Manfred's nobles noticed this and also abandoned Manfred to his fate. Manfred had previously exchanged his outer clothes to a trusted friend in order that he was harder to target on the battlefield. Manfred refused to submit, and with a small group of trusted followers, they engaged the enemy head-on and died. The French took few prisoners, and the Germans who tried to cross a nearby river were weighed down by their armour. Only 1 in 6 of Manfred's 3,600 cavalry avoided death or capture. The Saracen mercenaries, who had fought for the Holy Roman Emperors since Frederick II Hohenstaufen, had set up a colony at Lucera. This Saracen unit was completely annihilated at Benevento. Conradin, son of Conrad, invaded Italy in 1268 to assert his claim to the throne. The battle was fought in 1268 between the Ghibelline forces of Conradin of Hohenstaufen and the Guelph troops of Charles of Anjou. Conradin's army faced Charles' army at Tagliacozzo. The Hohenstaufen army ranks included Spanish, Italian and German knights in 3 divisions, one led by Conradin himself. Charles' army was a mixture of French and Italians, organised in 3 divisions. Charles led the 3rd division with the veteran French crusader Erard of Valois. This 3rd division of veteran French knights was hidden from the battlefield. Conradin's 3 divisions held the early advantage and routed Charles's 2 divisions on the battlefield. A soldier wearing Charles's armour was killed and Charles's banner seized. The Hohenstaufen forces were duped into thinking Charles had died and the battle was won. The Hohenstaufen forces split up as they pursued the fleeing Charles divisions, seeking loot and retribution. Charles now moved his third veteran reserves and cut down Conradin's forces. Conradin fled but was captured, imprisoned, and beheaded in a marketplace in Naples. So ended the Hohenstaufen line. Charles was crowned King of Sicily in Rome 1266. Charles was now king of the Two Sicilies, Sicily and southern Italy. Charles imprisoned Manfred's male sons, and they died chained in captivity. Charles of Anjou confiscated numerous estates in Sicily to fund and reward his large court of Frenchmen. While Charles relied on wealth from Sicily, he focused his time and attention on Naples.